Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News.
Construction update.
Shun.
Up.
We discussed that, but we didn't agree on doing it. So I just I didn't get any response when I said it, so I just said it all.
We all said yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we did.
A great idea.
Hang on.
I like the idea of saying
Do
shun,
over.
I said.
Do over.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we do it
Yeah.
then? Okay,
Yeah.
go on. Construct.
I can't do the bongs in between. Start again.
Struck.
Shun.
Update all together.
Update.
Oh, forget it.
I've heard them do this on radio too. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans, and welcome to an utterly shambolic Disneyland Paris show. No more than you would expect. For those viewers, you may notice that every week Hugh seems to add more to our set. It's like Philip Schofield in the broom cupboard in the 90s. Do you remember the way he always just kept getting more and more bits going on in the set?
Super busy. Yeah.
Yes. For those who aren't listening, we're currently referring to a map of Disneyland Paris, 2 fake yucca plants, a Mickey Mouse plush, a 37 Disney Street sign, and 2 tiki heads.
What we need if we're staying in here is just a big backdrop.
Yes. We could get a green screen. What about having a green screen and then we could project things in the back of it?
What, like we did do for 3 years?
Oh, yeah.
That would involve pulling the sofa forward 2 inches, and that just upsets me.
Also, the sofa's green. That could make it interesting.
Well, that might make it better. That might make it better. I liked the days when we used to sit in our ride vehicles. Anyway,
I did as well, actually.
We digress. Thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, we've done a little bit of a construction update. Chris is looking nervous because I touched my mic. We've done a little bit of construction update today. We've got some photos for you. We've been talking about doing this for weeks, and one reason I've always been a bit hesitant is because we are not boots on the ground and we are not taking our own photos, so we have to rely on things from other outlets. I want to be clear about that at the moment because I want to credit everybody whose photos I use. It's mainly ED92 and DLP Report, and we highly recommend that you follow both of those accounts on whatever platform you use. They both do excellent news updates and construction updates and regular park photos. So I'm getting that big shout out right at the beginning of the show, and then I can talk at my leisure without worrying about plagiarism. That was me getting a little disclaimer.
Okay, cool.
Right at the beginning.
So
and now we can enjoy ourselves.
What you just said was everything you said is gospel.
Nope.
And we have...
Nope. We know nothing. This is secondhand news. Enjoy.
We're a magazine show, remember?
Yes.
But if anyone doesn't like us using the photographs, tell us and we'll stop. It's as easy as that.
But, I mean, I don't know why they
We're
would.
just a bunch of idiots.
We just
listen to the podcast instead because you can't see the pictures there.
We just point people in directions of following their accounts. So I think we're free advertising, if anything.
We absolutely are. We're steering you to the things that matter.
Yeah.
We're reporting on things that have already been reported on. Nothing's breaking here.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be the first at anything. We're just sharing other people's information because we're too lazy to make our own.
And do you know what I'm wondering to myself?
What?
Who are we sharing that with?
Who are they?
Who's just listening to the show?
Right. No, I was listening to the sound, and I am a little bit quieter than everyone else, even though I'm right up to the mic.
Makes a change.
I'm a bit quiet. I'm just a
Testify.
bit quieter. But yeah, who is in the chat? Right. First of all, we'll swap it over to all messages and not top. Right. We got Joey first in the chat. Joey says, "Hey, lovelies. I've been excited to watch the show all day.
Yay! We've been excited to talk to you, Joey.
My question this week is, away from the parks, what has been the best Disney experience you have had?"
Ooh. I was trying to think which podcast I enjoyed doing the most from the Classics podcast, because we did a lot of them and we had some good laughs along the way. And I figure that's probably one of my better Disney experiences, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Oliver and Company. I think that was quite a hoot.
I think my first
Is this
Christmas.
Sorry, is it actually on?
You are coming through as clearly as anybody else is
Okay.
on there, according to the thing.
It sounds like I've been picked up on Lucy's mic on it. I just sound very distant. Anyway,
I would say my first Christmas working at the Disney Store in Leeds. I know it's a bit of a cop out to say a whole kind of 3-month period, but I mean, part of it, we were just talking about being that age and having your first part-time job and earning money and stuff, but it was a genuinely nice place to work, and that's when I became obsessed with Disney, is because you just get saturated with it, and you know they nurture that in you. We used to do staff quizzes, and they used to have this library of books in the staff room that you could take home if you wanted to, and all that kind of thing. So that was I've got really fond Disney memories of that. And any film that came out during the 3 years I worked there, I know inside out and back to front, like word for word, because we used to play them on the big screen. So I would 8-hour shift, I'd watch Lion King 2 4 times.
Speaking of films, my best Disney experience, I have 2 of them. 3, maybe 2? No, 2 of them. One of them is going to see The Fox and the Hound at Ipswich Cinema with my grandparents.
Oh,
Because it's the only time I've ever been to Ipswich, thankfully. And it was just a really, really great memory. And the other one was going to see The Jungle Book and Mickey's Christmas Carol at Dewsbury, I would say.
Oh, do you know what? While we're at that, I've got a really fond memory of seeing Lady and the Tramp at Dewsbury.
Oh,
And for years, until I worked at the Disney Store, I thought that Lady and the Tramp was an 80s Disney movie, because I didn't understand the concept of
really?
the vault and re-releasing.
Yeah.
And I would swear blind, nope, I saw it in 1989. That's when it was released. Lies.
I went to Disney headquarters in London to watch the 95% finished Incredibles 2. Early morning start. I had to get up about 5 to get down there, and we had a screening of it. There's a few animatics thrown in where certain scenes weren't quite finished, but it's 95% finished. That was interesting.
Can you explain why
that.
you get to do that with your job?
We've got the Disney license. We make greetings cards. That's it.
But you have to kind of know what stories you're telling on the front of the greetings card.
Yeah, we're storytellers.
Prior to the film being released. So they also got, which I couldn't believe, I've told this story before, but when what was the first of the new Star Wars films, Force Awakens?
Mm-hmm.
They got the Force Awakens style guide, and I knew nothing about it. And that's a book that shows you all the characters' costumes. And
It's a PDF.
Okay, yeah. But
let's not get fancy.
Yeah, and it gives you little mini bios, not bios, but this character appears with that character is an enemy of that character, so that you don't have certain characters dancing on the front of dancing together like Kylo Ren and things. And I knew nothing about this, and then on the geeky Star Wars community it got leaked.
No, this was
Was this a different one?
it was the Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker, and it got leaked, and all my favourite YouTube channels went nuts.
There was this
And you were
poster.
like, oh, we've had that work for months.
It was a poster, and people would there's whole videos, people dissecting it and going, I think this is and people will say, no, this is definitely a fan-made poster because C-3PO's got Chewbacca's crossbow, so definitely fan-made. And I was thinking, wow, about 5 months ago I slapped that on a card.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact it's not, but I couldn't say anything. And that's kind of fun.
But thing is, he didn't even tell me, and we sat next to each other watching these
Professional.
Star Wars breakdowns on YouTube for months, and he didn't even tell me he'd seen the style guide. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, that's by the by. Let's continue. Who else is in the chat?
By that point, I'd completely lost all interest in Star Wars, so
You
that's
were
why.
angry about it. You hadn't just lost interest. You were angry.
Yeah, I was. Well, when I first saw the first style guide, then I thought, what? It's TIE Fighters and X-Wings again. I thought, well, it's just, is there nothing new? I was really disappointed to see that it was just the same stuff.
Yeah.
Because the prequels, it was all new crafts and settings, and I thought, well, that's interesting.
That's something,
and then
yeah.
it's just the same again. I thought, come on. Anyway, Emily's here. Emily says, evening all. I've been catching up with my
Evening all.
shows on my commute lately, and it's lovely to have such a fun start to the day. I've written our December trip report, so hoping to share soon.
I apologise to you if you have been catching up on the podcast on your commutes, and last week's podcast didn't come out because I was in Milan all last week. By the way. No, it's not that great, and I had to come back on Friday morning at 6:45. My flight took off, which meant at 2:00 in the morning, I had to get out of bed and get a taxi to the airport.
Oh, no.
So as much as it was a very pleasant experience, I've been absolutely shattered all weekend.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
I've been gardening, so I've got and 2 days of gardening, and I forgot what gardening aches feel like.
Oh.
They're a different kind of ache, man. I've been groaning all evening. Honestly, because you're using muscles you never use, or you don't normally use, and I'm in agony. It's just like a few hours of gardening.
We haven't done any gardening yet because, we got a dog.
Oh, yeah.
And the dog goes in the garden. All the way through the winter, the dog's gone into the garden. My grass is not what it was, but I might be able to get that back. That's fine. But all the plants that were in the beddings all around, she's now decided to eat down to the root.
Oh.
So we pretty much have nothing in the garden to actually garden anymore. Oh. But I did plant my Naga chili seeds this week.
I did.
And some tomatoes as well. So I'm quite excited to see if they bear any fruit this year.
And my chocolate buntas.
Ooh.
Who else?
Right. Emily also says, to answer Joey, I still miss my trips to our local Disney store in the 90s. John is here. Hey, fam. Hope everyone's good. I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
Sunshine
Yeah.
emoticon.
I'll give myself 4 stars today.
Hi, John. Andrew's here. Just 1 week until Disney. My bag is packed. Our park tickets have been downloaded. And we are ready to roll.
Woo!
Hey, Disney pals. 2 weeks of DLP, says Jen. So exciting, Andrew. I've booked to the VIP area for fireworks. Thanks again for the advice.
Yay.
Hey.
That was all kicking off in the chat. In answer to Joey's question, says Andrew, I think it's pretty hard to beat the memory of being taken to the cinema as a kid to see Disney films on the big screen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I used to love the magic and excitement of the red curtains swooshing back and the film starting. Therian Girls XD is here. Hello, everyone. We got Whitney here, Wits Wanderlust. Hey, everyone. It's been ages.
Whit.
It has. But I'm looking forward to the show tonight. Good to see you,
Hi,
Whitney.
Whitney. It's been a while.
Old Pink Hand himself, Jimmy is here, and Kira is here. First ever live stream. Welcome, Kira.
Welcome,
Hey,
Kira.
Kira.
Hey.
Where are you from?
We got Ruth.
Scratch you off.
We got Ruthie here. I'm here. Cheryl's here. Evening. My favourite Disney memories away from the park, says Cheryl, was the excitement of watching a Disney film on a VHS tape and knowing you weren't moving for the next hour and a half glued to the TV.
Yeah, that's good too.
Whitney's loving your Fraggle Rock t-shirt, Chris.
Do you know what? My sister bought me this for my birthday. My birthday was a month ago. In fact, more than a month ago now, nearly 2 months ago. And we've only seen each other for the first time today. So she got me this as a birthday present. And I'm pretty pleased with it. It's a nice fit. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
It has caused much a stir when you did enter the rain wing, didn't it?
It's Disney adjacent.
I declared HMV t-shirt.
You did. I've been told on many occasions
You did.
that I'm not stylish enough on here because I just wear black or blue all the time. I don't have this going on.
Yeah,
that
but
these guys have.
you're the
This.
stage manager. You're the stage manager of the
that's
the
it.
Disney world.
Oh, go on, Lucy. Flatter me more.
And to wrap up,
You just sink into the
Guys.
wings.
To wrap up, Joey says, honestly, you make my Sundays. My favourite experience was being little and seeing Disney on ice for the first time. Oh. And Eddie's here. Hello, Ed. Joey says, sorry to be odd and taking away from the Disney, but Lucy, I love the dress and the glasses matching tonight.
Well.
So all the compliments for you two, but none for me in my rockabilly bowling top.
Thing is,
No one's bothered.
Hugh looked at me today and he says, so you're one of those people who wears colourful glasses and earrings now? And I went, What are those people?
keep
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What
wording
do you
it
mean by
slightly
that?
differently to how I said it. I said, you said, oh, so you're one of, you're.
Go on, what did you say?
I said, I said something like, you're the, no.
This is great
It was
radio.
like, you're the type of person. It was whichever one was nicer.
Okay. But it immediately sent me into a flurry of insecurity. I'm like, is that good? Is that bad? Am I Sue Pollard now? You know what I mean?
What
Lucy
Lucy said to her?
What Lucy
You
doesn't.
look like Sue Pollard.
No,
Mate.
no, I didn't. What Lucy doesn't
Rude.
get is if I was having a go about something, I'd say it in my own head and I wouldn't say it out loud. And I told her this, and then she panicked, thinking, well, now it's gonna be. Now it's like a negative where she's thinking, oh, he's not said this. That must mean he hates it. He's not said this. So now it's all the things I don't say. She's now paranoid about.
I saw Sue
This
Pollard playing Audrey in
Heavens.
Little Shop of
Can
Horrors.
I just say that all this that Hugh just said is why I won't go in a flirtation tank? Because if I had to go into a flirtation tank, I would have to face this paranoia and schizophrenia.
It's like when Bruce Almighty hears all the
Straight on,
voices of
yeah.
the world.
I couldn't cope it. It'd end me.
Anyway, Kira says.
I'm sorry, I've
from-
got a horrible tickle.
Kira says, I'm from Bristol, taking my toddler for his first trip in May.
Oh, yay. Oh.
Oh.
First toddler trips are hands down the most magical trips as
Yes.
well. Hands
And
down.
Ruth says, see my girls enchanted by the magic of the Frozen movie when they were young. Was pretty special.
Oh, can I add one?
And that's everyone in the chat.
One of my favourite Disney-related memories is me and Bonnie, like every morning for about 3 months, reenacting the opening scene of Frozen on our double bed upstairs. Do you remember that, Bonnie?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And then
I was sometimes the troll.
if Hugh was in, he was usually at work, but if he was in, he had to be Papa Troll, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
It was so cute. It was so cute, and
Was the first time.
he still manages to roll his eyes at it. Right. Should we get on to bee's knees
I
then?
had to say that awful line where he says something like, I will remove this something, but I will leave the fun. It's such
Your
a
Yeah.
spleen.
It's
I
such
will
a
remove your
clunky
spleen.
line.
It's in desperate need for rewrite. Is that Phil?
It
Do you
needs
know what
one-
I mean?
It needs one. Well, it needs more than one. The script needs the dialogue needs one more pass, but the whole story needs another couple of
It
passes.
feels like a first draft. I mean, we all know it's a cultural phenomenon, but it feels like a first draft. Frozen 2,
Don't
on the
rate
other
it.
hand, 10 out of 10.
Yep.
We agree about that, don't we?
We do.
We love Frozen 2.
Should we drink before if we're going to be settling down to look at construction sites?
Yeah, why not?
Ole! It's showtime! Hold together! Your tiki 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 cup in your tiki 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 cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki 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 cup.
We're all having cherries and berries, even Bonnie.
Except that I bought myself a little something special
Oh, she's
in
having
Aldi.
What is that?
I bought myself, for no reason, I was passing it and I thought, I fancy it. A raspberry mojito in a can, people. Because that's the kind of girl I am.
I've also got another one. I mentioned this on the Facebook group. I lit this candle a couple of weeks ago, and I said, is it me or does this actually smell like the lobby at Caribbean Beach in Florida? Before I've said that to Lucy, I've said, does it smell like Caribbean? And she said, no. I think this one does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's the Pacific Wax Co. available at Asda. That I know of, Asda, and I got another one today from Asda Living, and it's the Coconut Waters one. It's blue, and if you like Caribbean Beach, this is very, very niche.
I banged a link on your
I know.
thing as well, so if you want to find it, you can go and order it
You can
online.
order it
as well.
online.
I went on our Facebook page today and you two were full geeking.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
recommending candles and you were putting the link up to buy said candles.
Yes.
And I'm like, where did all the men go?
Yeah, we are beta soy cooks, as right-wing podcasters would call us.
You are.
Thing is, as if we care.
I know.
Just to cement this, I brought you a pink chocolate bar. It's a mallow and marsh coconut.
Milk chocolate over
bar.
coconut marshmallow. That's everything I always wanted.
Very light. What's this?
I love my soy
Hugh?
boys.
Joey says, Hugh, have you seen the new pina colada flavoured Irish cream at Aldi. Apparently,
Yes,
it's
I
like
saw
pineapple.
I stopped him buying it.
Wait a second.
No, you didn't.
Carry on.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
Start the news.
Because I picked up my
News.
mojito and he said, well, what if I buy this? And I went, you're not buying that. And now
It
look,
appears that he has.
it appears
bought it.
he's bought them.
It appears he has.
Oh dear. Well, I don't want to start the news while he's upstairs because it involves looking at photos. So I'm quickly going to tell you that this time 24 hours ago, my two loves met and had a little snog. And my two loves are Disney and conditional formatting on spreadsheets. And there we have the pina colada. What's it called? Ballycastle.
Yeah.
Ballycastle Irish
Little
cream.
Ballycastle.
I always want to say Ballykiss Angel.
So, as you know, our next big Disney
That's
trip.
Hugh's bum. Anybody who's listening, we can now see Hugh's bum.
I got a nice bum.
For
Think much of yourself, do you?
people who
I've been told.
follow us will know that our next Disney trip is with another family of 4, 2 boys, a toddler, a 7-year-old boy, and 2 adults. And they are also lovers of spreadsheets and things. So I sat down last night. I did a spreadsheet. It had 4 tabs. And we had a planning tab where we had all our booking references, transfer times, flight times, all that stuff on. And then it had a tab where I'd put the crowd calendar on and circled highlighted in red, recommended days to go parks and then suggested plans. Then we had another tab that had our dining and Disney bounds on.
Ooh.
And then another tab that had listed all the table service restaurants in Disney with traffic lights for which ones I recommend. Yes, no, maybe, I don't
King's
know.
Doctor.
Can you repeat the question?
You're not about to me now.
Exactly. And then yeah.
What was that?
I don't know.
And so I did this, I spent last night just making spreadsheets to do with Disney. And then today we went and Bonnie did a PowerPoint to do with Disney. And then this morning
on, Bonnie.
we went round their house and we presented our relatively digital things. Now, some people have friends who would laugh at that.
I just did.
Not our friends.
Oh,
You
sorry.
know our friends. The female of the friends in particular was
Over
like,
the moon.
oh
More
my
deadlier
goodness.
than the male.
Yeah, she was beyond ecstatic, I believe, or at least that's how I read it. Maybe I read what I wanted to read, but yeah. So Disney spreadsheet making, I highly recommend it. My happiest memory is making my DVC Disney spreadsheet on how to calculate how much your points are worth. Really enjoyed that. Right, are we all back?
Yeah.
Have we all got refreshments?
Yeah.
I've
And
eaten,
Nice
food.
talking about spreadsheets.
I've eaten my marshmallows. Delicious.
Hey,
I'm
I'll
getting
never
mine now.
finish talking about spreadsheets. I'm not even that
know,
good at
Lucy,
spreadsheets,
I
but
know.
I just get really excited when I learn to do a new thing on a spreadsheet. I
Making
have to do it.
spreadsheets and soiling bed sheets.
See, when we go to Disney, we don't do that because both Laura and I spend all day on Excel, so it's just not something that I particularly want to do.
It's
makes
it's
it
a
a busman's holiday.
special treat for me, and it was Google Sheets, not Excel.
Nah.
Just so you know. Right.
Okay.
Construction. Christopher, if you'll give me the first slide, please.
Oh yeah, I have to do that. Hang on. Right, if you need to hear anything from me now, I'll have to lean over here.
That's fine. Where's your little console? There we go. Right. So here we have, just to remind you, the concept art of the main thoroughfare of the Disney Village. There is actually a huge, big area that's going to be reconstructed. What am I trying to say? In the renovation, they're actually expanding it. They're doing a new McDonald's. They're doing all that kind of thing. But today we're just going to look at the main thoroughfare. Now
I thought there was a person at the bottom of the drawing that looked like me. And then I looked more closely, and it's because we're minimised in the bottom of the screen. I thought I was part of the picture.
So what we can see here is that they've used the moving statues from the 30th anniversary. What were they called? Gardens of Wonder.
Yes.
The statues from the Gardens of Wonder, and they have been put in planters in the middle of the thoroughfare. I am so delighted about this because there was such a highlight. There's still some in the park, isn't there? But there was such a highlight in the hub there. There's no need to waste stuff like this. Move them. They've then got a place in Disney history. I can't see them dating the way other things have dated in that
rushed,
area.
maybe.
bit of rust. But yeah, that looks beautiful. And then they're showing us the new fronts of the shopping bank on the left-hand side as you walk towards the hotels. So they've got rid of those kind of spiraled chrome pillars that looked like painfully 90s, didn't they?
Some of us liked that.
I know.
I was just going to say that. I thought we liked that.
We
I
do.
thought we
I
were sad
think
to see it all go.
The party line is that we like that stuff
We're-
here at 37.
We're all in favour of things that
So
are painfully
joyously
90s.
90s is what you meant.
Joyously 90s. But there's no doubt that they did throw back to the 90s. They're trying to bring us into 2024. 25. Now, we've been concerned that they're going to try and do a Four Seasons Hilton for everything, where like everything kind of becomes really bland.
Yep.
However, in the words of Chris, I'm not hating what they've got going on
I don't
here.
hate it. I don't hate it.
So let's have a look where they've got so far with it, shall we?
Oh, but that's not what's going to happen because you didn't say that should be the next picture.
Yes.
You said this was number 2.
Oh, no, I didn't. But
oh,
okay.
yes, you did.
No, well, if you read it, I said,
Oh dear.
yeah, don't worry, guys. I said this one, then the first batch, then this one, then the last batch. Do you see what I mean? This one, the first batch, then this one, then the rest.
Clear as mud. Right.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Here we go. So, right, what you've got is a word
Whose
that
picture's this?
this is above Disney
No, whose
style.
pictures?
Oh, this one is DLP report. This one. Oh no, yeah. This is actually a screenshot of a video from DLP report. Yeah. So this is the Disney style, above Disney style. They've kind of got this corrugated box, and it creates a giant. Am I using the word correctly, Hugh? Lenticular.
Yeah.
Lenticular. So. You know those pictures. It's when you look at them from one angle, they're one thing. When you look at them from another angle, they're another thing. So as you walk from the hotel to the park, it is the Incredibles in their regular outfits.
All right, and what's it? I mean, you're
What
the other way.
happens next? Let's see,
Thumper and
shall we? And then you go on the other side, and it's the Incredibles in their superhero
So it
outfits.
is.
And it's also gone into that mid-century modern poster style as well, hasn't it, from what I can tell. That is really cool. Now, it's stuff like this that doesn't come across in concept art, because what we saw was this big brown sign,
yeah,
Big square brown sign.
nondescript boxes on them.
and we're like, that's really boring. Come on. That is cool. Do we agree?
I do agree.
It's all right, yeah.
Okay.
Is it absolutely fine?
It's absolutely good.
Is that your thoughts? I really like
I think
it.
it's all right. It's just it's okay.
No, I think it's the
It's better
kind
than
of thing
expected.
to kids when you take them to Disney for the first time and everything everywhere is Disney and they look up and this picture changes. I think that is the Disney extra, personally. They could have just bunged a regular sign up there. They didn't. I like it. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's next?
I mean, it is in a brown box.
I like the brown box. I mean, look
It's
round
off
our
centre as well.
look round our living room, Hugh. It's very in tone with how we live.
Yeah, but we're not inviting families to come and gaze in awe at it.
So this is the Disney.
Are we?
No.
Oh.
This is the Disney Glamour sign that we're looking at. We're going to describe it for the people who are listening. It is all, I would call that a powder blue. Anybody?
Okay.
It's a bit darker than that.
Bit darker than.
Powder blue is like baby blue, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's a bit darker.
And it's got embossed Mary Blair shapes behind it. Just recognisable
Geometric
enough.
shapes.
Yeah, geometric shapes, but definitely inspired by It's a Small World. But without the colours. Now, I like that. That's subtle enough. And we've got a font that is, would you call that Art Deco?
Yeah.
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 What's the significance of the line under the O?
Glamour. I don't know. Strange, isn't it?
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids will love Disney Glamour.
This is the sign that's just above the door. So this isn't like your big banner sign that's
Okay.
right at the top. This
Yeah.
is the one that's just above the door. I think that's very tasteful. And if they sell
Very demure.
t-shirts with just that kind of like blue on blue design, I would wear that. Cool. So let's look at the next slide, shall we? And then this is what is underneath the Incredibles
Incredibles.
side that we just looked at. So this is under the brickwork above the door. So it's a small sign.
If you stand on one side, you can't actually read the title of the name of the shop, presumably, because it's all pretty dark, isn't it?
It does look we're looking at a 2D image here, but it does look like this might also move because it looks a bit textured. It's hard to tell. But in the background, you've got an Edna Mode.
Oh, I thought it was Peter Griffin from here.
It's
Edna Mode.
charcoal
Oh,
grey.
yeah, okay, yeah, I see it, yeah.
I won't say black on black, but it's more like charcoal grey on slightly less charcoal grey. To kind of give a relief of an Edna Mode. Again, very cool, I think.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm really liking it. And do you know what I'm coming round to?
And guessed.
I'm liking the industrial brickwork thing, given that they're embellishing it with these really awesome designs. When I saw that, I was not a fan, Chris. Do you remember?
I do.
Yeah, not a fan, but I'm liking it. I'm
Giving
liking
off Avengers Campus vibes.
It is. It is.
I think
Which-
so far we could do a bit more colour.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, let's
I
see
agree.
what you think to this next one.
So,
So
well-
is that Disney Glamour then? Next door there.
Next up, so the Incredibles one is Disney Style, and the one next to it is Disney Glamour. And they've gone for the original Disneyland, not Disneyland Paris, Disneyland version of It's a Small World
Yeah.
there, where it's powder blue, gold, and like an ivory colour.
what's that Twitter account you used to follow, Chris? It's called Tiny
Spires.
Spires. Yeah, it's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lots of geometric shapes.
So that I love that because I love It's a Small World, and anytime you show me anything from It's a Small World, I get a little flutter in my stomach. I don't know how strong that is next to the Incredibles thing.
It is
from,
nice, that.
from like a kid point of view, but it is nice looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see the Disney style sound underneath, by the way, and it's lit up, and it looks better.
Yes.
I think in situ, I like it more than I did with a big, massive close up of it and nothing else.
And there is some colour now,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
because there's a big red crane in the picture.
Yeah.
It's not a crane. What do you call that?
I think this photo,
Cherry picker.
Yeah.
the last 3 photos have actually come from Disney press releases, I believe. So,
They're safe.
yeah.
Next.
Yes, please. Right.
Do we need to go back now?
Yes, please. So I'm just reminding everybody of the construction that we are working towards in Disney Adventure World, Disney World of Adventure. World of Adventure. I'm still getting that wrong. So this is the really, really rough concept art that we got back in, I want to say 2018. Is that when it was? I think so.
I think it was, yeah. I'm trying to think
Or does this still have...
what desk I was sitting at work when I listened to the Dedicated to DLP podcast
Yeah.
about it, because they had to quickly like rush out a podcast because this like artwork had just dropped. So I think it was 2018.
So some of this is now outdated. I'm going to try talk through
Did
what's...
we not report on this then?
Were we,
No.
were we
Was it
doing
that long
at the
ago?
time? I don't think
No,
we did,
we didn't. We started in 2019.
No, we
properly,
wanted them
didn't we?
because we started our podcast when Dedicated to DLP stopped because we thought, oh, there's a bit of a gap here, not realising that it would come
But
back.
then they worked back up again.
So yeah, it was before us.
Galaxy's Edge is there.
Yeah, so we've still got
Yes.
Galaxy's Edge. We now know that we're having Pride Lands, Lion King Pride Lands. We're also missing on here the
Islands.
Prides.
Lions Kings.
legends as of the Prides as lands. We also know we're missing on here the Lagoon Front restaurant. We're also missing on here the gardens of England.
English Gardens.
The English gardens.
London Garden.
Lagoon Front sounds like an insult.
So actually, as I compiled these photos, I thought this would be really good to look back at for reference, but actually it is now so inaccurate that perhaps it's not. Never mind. But what you can see there, at the very far end of the lagoon, which is partially what we're going to be looking at, is the North Mountain and Arundel is right over the lagoon, and then you've got the avenue that goes down to the lagoon. So just keep that in your head, or if you're listening, imagine going past Tower of Terror, big long avenue, big lagoon, straight over the other side of the lagoon, Arundel. Next slide, please.
Right, in the next slide though, so I need a second. just to
Lagoon
get back
always
to it.
sounds like green to me and slimy, but that's because when I was a kid, we used to live near this bit. I don't know what it was. It was a big sunken down like bit of land with like a big long row of rocks. Don't know what they were for. And in the corner was this like bath-sized rectangle full of slime, and we called the whole area the lagoon.
That sounds like a delightful place.
It's right behind our house.
You see, I always think of lagoons as being really crisp and blue and idyllic.
I think of it as like a swamp.
Yeah,
because of that place we called the lagoon.
You sure it wasn't a bayou?
yeah, that's more like a bayou. Right, okay, we digress. So what we can see here is the current, this is from ED92 Twitter account, X account, and this is taken last week, I believe. So this is the current state of Arundel. Now, we were all disappointed that it was going to be opening mid-2026, but looking at it now, it doesn't look like it's ready to open, does
Only
it?
got a few tents to remove.
Just a few tents to remove. So you've got scaffolding going all the way up the North Mountain, but you can most definitely see the shape of North Mountain. The physical shape of it is built. I presume the scaffolding is still there because of all the foliage, detail painting, texturizing that they have to do on the mountain. And also they'll have a lot of interior work to do because that is a ride. But you can see the full shape of it, and it's there, it's done. To the right of that, you've got Arundel. Behind it's Arundel Castle, I should say. And that looks pretty as a picture and ready to walk into, doesn't it? I'm very excited about that.
Do you know there's a place down south called Arundel?
Yeah, and Arundel too.
And it has a castle. Because every time you mention Arundel, that's what I think of.
Arundel Castle.
I will say that ED92 is also on Threads if you want to get your news from somewhere that isn't a cesspit.
And Facebook.
And Facebook.
I'm easing myself off X because
it's awful.
the man who runs it is a naughty man and I don't like him. That's me nailing
You cannot talk about our supreme leader in that way.
Sorry. Okay. Right. So, and then in the foreground, you've got what will be Arundel proper, which will have shops and restaurants and snack locations and the other such things. Now that is...
I wonder if they'll do school bread. It's my favourite thing at Disney World.
Yeah.
Like, even over any ride.
I find it quite bland.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
Okay.
What's school bread? I don't even know what
Right, it's a sweet bap almost, but it's tougher than that.
Yeah.
It's got like icing and what do you call it? Like toasted coconut sprinkled on top.
Yeah.
And it's got a massive blob of custard, kind of on top and a little bit inside.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
That does sound amazing.
It is.
And you find it bland?
I wouldn't say it's bland. It's quite sweet and tasty.
It's very sweet. It's just they have an amazing bakery in the Norway Pavilion, and that's not my favourite thing in the bakery. But
we
Sue
were
loves
talking yesterday, Laura and I, about how much we like a Greg's iced finger.
Yeah, I've had one of those for a long time.
It's just a hot dog bun with
Too
icing
many
on top.
jokes. Too many jokes.
If they do bring school bread to this, and I think they should, all will be forgiven for the lack of the Bagheera mango-filled biscuit and the removal of the Mustafar bites
And there was also a Boba Fett biscuit you really wanted.
and the Boba Fett sablé.
This is going to be our new Choco Blast campaign, isn't it?
Yeah, if they bring school bread back, I'm going to be a happy little boy.
Okay,
I mean,
so
not back. If they just bring it to this park.
Yeah.
what we can really see here is a lot of green roofs, and then, like Chris said, a lot of tents around other things. So that's not ready, but it's really good and heartening to see the scale of it. See the scale of it next to it. We could do with. I think we're going to get a longer shot in a minute, so you can kind of see how it measures up with other things. But yeah, we're going to be able to walk in there in like maybe 15 months' time.
I would just say, by the way, on the ED92 front, this stuff, they report on it frequently. So you can literally follow them and you see, week by week, you can see all this construction happening. It's pretty cool. It's well worth giving them a follow just to keep tabs on all of that.
Everyone listening now, give them a follow. I want them to go.
And DLP report. We use DLP report a lot.
I want them both to go, wow, this is a big influx. Wonder what happened.
All 6 of you.
And say, hey, these guys sent us there. And then they'll go, oh, I've never heard of them. And then they'll check us out and they'll go, they've been using a lot of our photographs, and then we'll get a cease and desist, and then
we finally made it.
and then we'll decide that we don't. Yeah, then we've made it.
Hugh is like, you know, one of those every possibility machines that they've got.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. He does that. Hugh does that, and he goes around the universe,
Twitch.
and he finds
one-
the worst possible outcome.
One outcome. Thank you. It's a gift. It's a gift.
Right, next slide. Yay. Okay.
This one's hard to look at.
I need to pull this closer. Oh yeah.
no,
This
yeah.
is sorry, I've just realised what this is. This is Rapunzel's spinning I want to say spinning teacups ride, but she's not got teacups.
It's a teacups ride, but it looks different.
What do you call the boats that are doing it? Like boats. Yeah? Do they have a word? Those little
boats
Gondolas.
yeah, I suppose gondolas.
Is it a gondola?
Yeah. Dinghies. I don't know.
Dingy.
Something
Yeah.
spin though, isn't it?
Something spinning. So this is her ride, and this is just going to be just off the left of the avenue. But what you can see there is the North Mountain in the distance. Can you see behind it? So for people who haven't got access to these photos right now, in the foreground we can see a teacup style ride. There is an equivalent in size to the one that's in the magic in the park, Disneyland Park, and then way beyond it, we've just got the silhouette of the North Mountain. Now, what's exciting here is we've just seen how big it is at a fairly close-up distance, but when you see it from a far away like that, you realise how really big it must be, if that makes sense, because it looks so small here. Yeah.
So Rapunzel's, what they call it, thing, super spin, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. I know it's got a name.
Spinning,
It's got spin in
spinning dinghies from now on.
Rapunzel's
okay.
Spinorama.
it. Spinorama. What music do you think they'll play in it?
I think they should do what they do at the Aliens one and play like an upbeat version.
An
of,
electronica version of... Oh, the Ruffian song's fun
could do,
to
yeah.
fun to spin to though, isn't it? Oh, when will my life begin? It'll be a steel drum version of When Will My Life Begin.
Yeah, okay. It fits as a thing in Fantasyland because you can go with that style with well, a lot of the music from Alice in Wonderland anyway works really well, doesn't it, for that kind of a ride?
Because it's ridiculous as Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if they're doing
It's quirky.
Mary, I'm out there, do you? It all kind of works. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm just interested.
And because the correct music, if you sat in one of those lagoon boats, is "And at last I see the light," which is like an ice skater song in my head.
Mother Knows Best on repeat.
Yes. Mother knows best. I love it. Right, next slide, please.
You should get Chris to do his a cappella versions.
Here we get a better, closer look at the castle itself. And I think I just wanted to include that because I'm excited about this castle.
it's pretty, isn't it? Isn't it pretty?
Am I right in thinking that we will be able to walk in that in some way? This isn't just going to be one of those things that's done with forced perspective, is it?
Je ne sais pas.
I don't know either.
I think it should be a toilet.
Yes, that would be a good toilet.
Yeah.
Rapunzel's
But
toilets.
but with slides. But not for people, for the poos.
Timestamp.
Oh dear.
As you're washing your hands, you get to see everyone's waist sliding past you in between the mirrors. Just like a little extra fun.
like in the Roman days.
Yeah. No, yeah. You would
like
literally...
a viewing screen. Or actually, it's just there.
No, there'd be mirrors spaced with like gaps in between them, and you could see little glimpses in between.
Can
Like
you
a
touch it if you reach
like
down,
a Hall of
right?
Murray's, so you don't know where the poo is. That's
Like when
bad,
you
isn't
have
it?
colo-
It's somewhere on the floor, but you can't tell
Like
because
when you
there's
have
mirrors
a
everywhere.
colonic irrigation and you get to see all the bits.
Oh,
The
coming through
castle
the tube.
is where Anna and Elsa meet and greet. Will be similar to the training centre at Avengers Campus, says John.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Just a
for-
little bit prettier.
yeah, bringing that back down to a sensible note
goodness
for
for
us. Yes.
Very strange conversation that was.
That's what I do.
I'm gonna
That's
call.
what I do.
Be able to stop. Right, and next slide, please, Christopher.
Oh, yes, of course.
Nothing happened.
There we go.
What
Haha.
is that?
This is an empty. It's an area of the lake that kind of comes off like a dock, and it's empty of water. But you can see a fixed
Bereft of
gondola that with a lamp in it, with Rapunzel's lamp in it. So yeah, I presume that's just going to be for decor. The fact there's a light in it, it's weird because it's just kind of dumped in the middle of it, and I wonder if they're going to make that float.
I think it's weird that the lamps are still like a thing because they've been banned everywhere.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's weird. We went to Whitby one New Year's Eve and we went up onto the up by the Abbey and looked out for the fireworks, and there was so many lanterns. And then the next year we saw about 3. It was literally like dozens or maybe even hundreds, and then 3 the next year because they've been banned. And I'm
They
glad.
start fires, don't they, and things.
It's just it's the litter I don't understand. Balloon releases are the most idiotic thing I've ever
Did you
seen.
see that one in America?
Yeah,
years back.
the one that like caused accidents.
Absolute chaos. Yeah.
But there was a balloon
Was it
release
Detroit?
as a tribute to someone a few weeks ago, and I won't say who it was, but yeah, they're still doing them occasionally, and all the comments were just going, "What are you doing? You can't. It's littering. It's ostentatious littering."
It is.
Anyway, that's my little rant over.
So what we can also see
Oh,
this is a plaza with the paving with the sun icon of Rapunzel,
so we can.
The Corona crest.
the Corona crest.
Is that what we'd call it? A crest?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's a royal crest, is there?
So that's more of that like real Imagineering, attention to detail, and the fact that you can see it kind of growing up. There's also a lot of planters around. Now at the moment there's not a lot of foliage. When there is a few trees, they are dead trees because it's the middle of winter. Not dead, resting, sleeping trees.
Sleeping.
He's resting.
Dead or merely
But the fact that
sleeping.
we can see so many planter areas is very hopeful of this being a lovely green,
'cause
luscious area.
That concept art was so green. It looked like a forest with some rides in it. And I always say, I think they overdo it on the trees in concept drawings because it's never like lush.
Well, yes, but the work that they've done beyond the studio in the whatever it's called, Adventure Alcove, I don't know, Adventure something, just outside of Premier Land. It's they put a load of new trees in, didn't they? Because we saw it a few weeks ago. Didn't we report on it in a brochure at some point?
We might have done, but I was probably drunk,
No, it might have been that one, yeah.
even though I don't drink in the
No.
first half
It
of
was,
the
it
year.
was the back end of last year.
Oh.
Was
gin
it?
drinking. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think they put a bunch of new trees in and stuff. I seem to remember us saying how lush it looked.
Good.
So maybe it is going to be well lush-like.
So that's
Gert lush.
Girl lush.
Gert lush.
So that's a few details to look at. Now, I'm not sure if there's any more. That might be the last one.
This is another 4 pictures.
Is there?
There is. That's the mountain again. We've seen that.
More mountain.
See, this is what happens when I don't put
Haha.
them in the order that I was told to.
Right. Now, what we've got in the very foreground here is we've got Woody looking
Howdy.
out on what will be the avenue. We're not. Yeah, we are looking at the avenue going down from just above my head. If you're looking at the screen, down towards above the DLP report sign. And then Woody, this is the back side of Toy Story Land. So they're going to have an entrance to Toy Story Land from the avenue, and it's going to have a giant Woody the same way that we currently have a giant, yes, I know, giant Buzz at the other end. And then I believe that these kind of meandering pathways that you can see, these are going to be the English Gardens down here. Or I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because I've just realised, I think the English Gardens are going to be on the other side,
side, yeah, I
of
thought
the
they were as
avenue.
well.
So
Around the
sorry,
back of
my
Avengers
bad.
Campus, aren't they?
Yeah, it's more where you can see the cement truck there. The ones I was looking at, that little lagoon area is taking you to what we just looked at, where that boat was and where Rapunzel's spinners and things are.
It'd be good, wouldn't it, if the English Gardens was always like cement mixers and like concrete drills.
Yeah,
and all
like
that
a
sort of
real
stuff.
English
constant
garden.
noise of. I'd love that. Next one.
And then this is a wider
side.
shot of what you've just seen. So Woody is now right in the middle of this shot. This path we can see the back of, I think it's the RC Racer building. Is that what I can see? Does someone want to tell me? You know that
there? Mm-hmm. Oh, could be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say yes and carry on.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it is the cube bit. Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's where the new entrance to Toy Story Land is going to be. Connection is to the avenue there, and then you can see right down in the distance, down to the North Mountain.
It looks like it's miles away, doesn't it? Is that
It means
perspective?
that this it might be, but it means this lagoon is going to be big. But even with forced perspective, we've seen a close-up picture and we've seen like the buildings that people are going to be able to walk in.
Yeah.
So we know it is massive.
Yeah, it's the RC Racer building. It's got a red roof.
There we go. Yes.
Red-orange roof.
So
See, that doesn't compute with me when I think about where RC Racer is and where the avenue is in relation to where the tram tour used to start. That doesn't feel like that's where that is at all to me. It just feels wrong. But I'll accept it.
and then
I'll
if you
allow
can
it.
see, if you look at the RC Racer building and you just go up a little and to the left a little, that's the Rapunzel
yeah, I
spinning
see that,
ride that
yeah.
we were just talking about.
And presumably the restaurant is just beyond that.
It will be, although I haven't seen any shots of that as
Right.
as a vertical building.
It's
I'm not
probably
saying there
intense,
isn't
isn't
any.
it? That's
Probably.
one of the things that's intense at the moment.
I'm sorry I said that the English Gardens were the wrong side because I absolutely knew that and then just talked and got it wrong.
Well, I just let you keep talking. And
Yeah.
I knew that as well.
Okay. Yeah, and then this is a behind shot of the castle stage in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh,
So this
okay.
has been under tarps for a while. It's now got massive breeze block walls around the back of it that it didn't previously have. I presume they're not going to stay breeze block. They are still mid-construction. But I think this is just going to hide more backstage areas for tricks is the only way I can put it. Do you know when they want people to come out of the ground and they want pyrotechnics and things like that? They seem to have added an extra layer to the back and the bottom of the stage.
Cool.
Nothing's been announced for that for the castle stage other than it's shutting for a certain amount of time to work on to enhance the experience. But I just thought it was one more thing worthy of note. And that's
Very
that.
much so. Well,
Bon.
That was
kind of
everything.
exciting, all that, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's
nice to have a
20
look at
past
this stuff.
9. I didn't know if that would keep us busy for that long, to be honest. But hey,
It's done a good job.
we can chat.
I have a singular trip report if we wanted to do one. It's for Japan. No, Tokyo. Yes. I was right the first time.
Is it a big one? Because I might want a bit longer to digest a Japan one.
Possibly.
Because I will have questions.
Right, so maybe we save this for next week then. Oh, I'm not here next week.
Oh, no.
So maybe for the week after.
Yes.
Or you guys do it without me. If that's how you'd like to do it, I don't mind. I mean, let's have a look how big is it. It's
Chris is in a
fairly
play.
big. It's not massive.
Chris is in a play.
He is in a play. Do you want to plug your play?
I'm in a play. It's called The Winslow Boyle. The Winslow Boyle. It's called The Winslow Boy. It's by Terence Rattigan, and I'm playing Sir Robert. And if you're about in Dewsbury next week, I'd give it a wide berth if I were you.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I think it's gonna be all right. It's not my cup of tea.
I'm going to actually plug something.
Please do.
I don't often plug my own stuff. This is not Disney related, but as you know, 14 months ago, I quit my job that I had had for 20 years. I ran a dance school. I owned a dance school, and I quit that so I could become a freelance theatre maker. And I wrote a show. And I got funding for the show. We've got Arts Council funding for the show. I have produced the show. I have cast the show. And the show is now touring. It's a musical based on interviews that I conducted in Hebden Bridge about the 2015 Boxing Day floods. It's not an all singing, all dancing, tap dancing musical because this was quite a tragedy for the town. We tried to get to the heart of what it meant for the people who lived there. We tried to get to the heart of where it's taken them since, memories of the time. And then we've got this kind of documentary style musical, lots of folk music, lots of kind of folk rock music going on. About 20 characters played by 5 actor musicians, and I am really, really proud of it. and it's been written from my heart. We've put together an amazing team. We've an amazing stage manager who's like holding my hand through everything because I don't know anything. An MD who's just fantastic with doing actor musician stuff, which is a really particular skill. We've just got a designer on from Chester who works for Chester Story House, and so she's like sent me all the concept art, and we're having the final white card meeting on Monday. It's really exciting stuff for me.
What's a white card meeting?
It's when we lock in the design. She'll build she builds a model, and we look at it, how it's going to work, and we've locked in the design.
Right.
So it's just really, really exciting, and it's massive, and it's also terrifying, and I've done a thing. So it is going to Chester Story House, Southport Atkinson, Hull Truck, Hebden Bridge Little Theatre, because we gotta, Leeds Playhouse, and Northern Valley Theatre, which are both on Quarry Hill. It's a long story. We'll just go for it. And then, 53-2 in Manchester, Riding Lights in York, Georgian Theatre Royal in Richmond, and I think that's it. So if you live in the vicinity of any of those places, I would just really proudly like to bring my musical to you.
You know, it sounds like you've been really busy, Lucy.
Yeah, I have a bit.
But that isn't all you've been doing either, is it?
No.
Because haven't you got something else touring as well, kind of?
Yeah, I also got a commission to write a musical for a theatre company called Micron Theatre Company, and they tour on a narrowboat. They specialise in rural touring, and if you know about rural touring, the ethos is to bring theatre to communities that might not have theatre. So it's often like, you know, really out in rural areas, and they'll sometimes perform in church halls, sometimes they'll perform in allotments, and other times they'll perform in real theatres that are 400 seat regional theatres. They perform in pubs, they perform just on the towpath, so they perform everywhere. So that's based on Bletchley Park, because they always do it semi-educational as well, so I had to go and research Bletchley Park, and it's a 2-act musical, and that is its opening night is Lawrence Batley Theatre in Huddersfield, and then it is touring the UK for I think 8 months.
Yeah.
So I can't even begin to list where that's touring to.
But it'll probably be near you.
Probably be somewhere near you at some point in the year.
I got a new cereal bowl.
I was just going to say, do you have anything to plug here?
Thing is, Hugh does have something major to plug, but I don't know if it's allowed to on here.
Yeah, I've got a book out this month, but you know, I'll probably.
It's all ready for pre-sale on Waterstones, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll probably. You can just look for my name, Hugh Rain. I'll plug it when it's out, and I can show you it.
Cool.
I've got absolutely nothing to plug, so maybe go and listen to my band's first 2 albums.
Yeah.
You're in the
called
Winslow
Handmade
Boy.
Hands, all one word.
And they are really good as well.
That's lit. That's literally all I've got. I've got nothing.
This is what we're doing now. We're flogging stuff.
I know.
Well,
Thing
they don't
is,
need to buy it. Just go listen to it.
Mine's going to be in
don't.
Sainsbury's. I got an email saying good news. It's going to be in Sainsbury's.
I don't think
I'll be honest. I thought that was a given.
I think I've
I was like, yeah.
I think I've alluded to my thing a few times, but I don't think I've ever really talked
I don't
about
think
it.
you
And
have,
it is,
no.
I just for once, I thought I'm going to sell myself. This is what I do for a living now. This is my life now.
Do
It's
right.
so weird.
Well, we're all
Anyway.
dead proud of you, Lucy.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing it because it's changed since I saw it.
It's evolved massively. And it'll
yeah,
probably...
of course. Yeah,
It's-
I saw it in its initial state. And
Well,
Yeah.
we've got a 4-week rehearsal period as well, and the thing with actor musician shows is you tend to have to problem
workshop
solve in the room
Mm-hmm.
because like people play multiple instruments, and you'll go, it really needs a clarinet in here. Can someone do a clarinet? Oh, that means you can't move that chair anymore. Oh, well, we'll have to do a thing. So it tends to just evolve a lot in rehearsal. So even I don't know what it's going to look like yet. So rehearsals start in 3 weeks, and I'm bricking it.
We once evolved a scene on stage in Chris's play that he directed.
You mean you did it wrong? Is that what you mean?
Do you remember? Because I remember him saying, he said, I really like what's happening with this. There's a bit where there's a reveal of someone wearing some pants or something, some like girls' underwear.
Yeah.
And I started it. I started like sort of, because we were picking stuff up off the floor, and then I'd sort of get up and like look at it and pause. And someone noticed I was doing that, and on second night, I think Ben joined in, and by the end of it, we all stopped what we were doing and looked up at the same time, and it evolved. So for the last few nights, you remember that?
No.
All right.
I don't at all. Did I approve it?
Yeah, you said
Did I?
I really like what's happening around the table when you see Brookie's underpants.
Knickers.
Yeah.
Knickers. Right, okay, that's 1:30 then. Oh, we've got 1 minute left, technically.
Well,
Cool, so-
well, sorry.
You go.
I'm
you.
going to say there's a couple of things in the chat.
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
Of
get
course.
the chat.
Do you know what? We haven't even looked in the chat today.
Joey says, with all the works going on, when do you think would be a good time to book to do everything?
It's always a good... everything.
I think...
when will it be all done and quieting down a little bit?
2032.
I think, from our point of view, it might be safe for us to book Bonnie's birthday in 2026 because that's the end of August. And when it says summer, we know the end of August will be okay. Now, when you're into like May, June, I think it's dicey because they can move the goalposts on you.
The thing is
can't
also, though, like, we were glad that we didn't get to Galaxy's Edge for the first, like, year because I just thought, I can't be bothered with that. It'll be so busy.
But Avengers Campus was all right, wasn't it? I know it's a big changes as far as that part's concerned. I think that's the real thing, isn't it? It's going to have a.
I like to at least wait a couple of months. I like to be there on the opening day or wait a couple of months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Michael Jackson's first time listening live, so we need
Hi,
to
Michael.
give it.
Hello.
What up, Michael? And he says
Welcome.
we're informative and hilarious.
It's your informative and hilarious
That's
podcast
us.
every week.
I
You
know.
didn't listen to it last week, though, did you, Michael? Because I didn't post it. I apologise again. I just want to finish off where I
I want
started.
to know in what ratio
you get
we
a
are
double episode this
hilarious
week.
and informative. I'm not, I'm not sure it'd work in our favour. So in answer to your thing, I don't think there's a safe. I think a safe time to book is late summer and autumn in 2026. I think you're really dicing with
Not a
death
guarantee.
to go early. Even that's not a guarantee. But they have said summer 2026. But I think people who want to be there for opening week and so tentatively book beginning of May, I think they're rolling the dice.
I think that
personally.
first
Could you
Christmas is going
imagine
to be chaos as well.
Could you imagine if you just misjudged it and you were there like 2 days before it opened? that was your last day.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
what a depressing thought.
Oh, Michael Jackson said 50-50. Very kind. Thank you, Michael.
What are we doing now?
We're doing Extra Magic Time. aren't we?
EMT show, yeah. Over on Patreon.
Over on Patreon. We're not starting a new season of quizzes yet.
No,
So I think
but I
it's
won
good.
the last one for the first. Oh, spoilers!
Yeah.
For the first time.
It's 3-2.
It's really interesting
To me.
because we do these 10-episode things, and all 3 times it's been really close, and then the person who's behind us pipped it at the last.
Yeah.
Can I just bring attention to this though?
Sounds like
Because
we planned it.
John has said there are rumours about soft opening for the end of this year. Now that goes against everything I've heard. I've heard mid 2026. I've not heard early 2026. And for them to say 2026 when we're all expecting 2025 and then soft open at the end of 2025.
They did this with Avengers Campus. There were rumours of soft openings, and it didn't happen though, did it?
No, but I will say when it was the California Star Wars, they did actually open it a few months earlier than everyone thought, like 3 months earlier, I think.
And Christmas would be the best time for.
Didn't they
for
open
Frozen
it
Land to open,
without
didn't they?
Rise of Resistance though? I think that's what happened. Rise of the Resistance wasn't going to be ready, so they just sacked it off and opened it early.
All right.
Did I imagine that? What did you just say? Christmas would be.
Would be the best time to open it. It'd be the nicest, like the most
For
magical time to
Arundel.
open Arundel, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
Hi, Stella from Melbourne.
Hey,
Hey, Stelly.
Hello. Time
So,
for me to
slightly
rewind to the
chilly Melbourne morning.
it's more than slightly chilly here.
I was going to say, I bet your idea of slightly chilly is different from our idea of slightly chilly.
Well, it's-
But I'll take it.
It's warming up, brightening up now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
March.
And it's morning there. That's so lovely to know.
Any updates on Big Thunder Mountain, says Jeffrey.
No.
It's still set to open in this summer.
Said early summer, didn't it?
Hoping for sooner. Early summer.
But
I haven't heard anything and I don't like to speculate.
It's
I'm
going to be
afraid.
closed in Florida when we go, which is annoying.
Yeah.
yeah,
It is. Yeah. That's one of those things that we told our friends who we're going with. And we just thought it's no big deal. We think it's no big deal. We've been on it before. And they immediately went, oh no, that's our favourite ride. And
Their
we're like,
first trip to Disneyland Paris, the castle was in a box.
Yeah.
And
It was.
And we didn't think to tell him until we were like on the way.
Yeah.
I said, oh, by the way, we haven't told you. The castle is in a box.
I know. One of those things.
In a box with a picture of the castle on the box.
So Jeffrey says they'll be there on May the 4th for 3 days. I think you've got a 50-50 chance on May the 4th.
I think you'll be lucky.
Bonnie says May the 4th be with you.
Hopefully our planned 26th visit to DLP, your 11th visit, will go ahead. Then planning Tokyo.
Well, we have a trip report for Tokyo next week.
I really want to listen to that. I think that's why I want to do it another week, so we can spend a long time talking about it. Because I would love to go to Tokyo, but I don't know much about it. Yeah.
You've always did that thing, you know, when your son starts to
got a bubble.
just randomly, yeah. I think we'll talk about
At my rehearsal this afternoon.
You got some chocolate in the back of your throat.
At my rehearsal this afternoon, I swallowed a big gap of air. You know when you like just swallow
Oh,
air and it hurts like.
I don't
really.
know.
Have you never done that?
I have.
Swallowed air.
Yeah.
And it's like you've got a stone
It feels
in
like
your
it feels
esophagus.
like you've just swallowed the heaviest thing in the world and it won't move.
I don't know what that
It
feels
hurts
like.
really badly.
I don't know.
How can you've never done that? He doesn't drink enough Coke.
No. He drinks Pepsi Max Mango.
Pepsi Max Mango.
Right, shall I kill
It's time
this
to go.
now?
We're 6 minutes over.
It's time to
We'll
drop
see
the
you over
hammer.
on Patreon if you're coming. £3 if you want to join us. Unless you've already paid, in which case it's all part of it.
Thank you very
we'll
much
see
for the guys. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. Bye-bye.
Well done, Lucy.
See you on
I was
next
just wondering.
Sometimes I just have to bring down the hammer, like I said.
That's why you're the boss.
Bye, everybody. I am the boss.